Thank you, dear listeners, for joining us. It's been a while, but it feels great to be back with you. And so, going forward, as we all know, this is our Cipher System, well, the Mystery Pit Cipher System edition. And as we all do know, this game comes with a parental guidance warning for moments of extreme gore, trauma, mental mind games. Just, it is a very intense moment. There's very intense moments, adult situations, and that comes with the series. So if that can be too much, please remember here on Infinite Nerd Theorem, we do have other tabletop series or non-tabletop series that do not come with a hard parental guidance warning. And we do appreciate you guys always coming back. And if you enjoy the content we do create, please remember to hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the content we are going to be having coming in the future, such as the player for Scruffy and Uretzi's are both going to be GMing their own games. So please make sure you're stay up to date by hitting the subscribe button and hitting the little bell for notifications. So when those are releasing, you'll be able to know that. Welcome back, dear listeners. Before we go forward with everyone's favorite fleshy amusement park that currently all the workers are on a vacation, and goddamn is it a vacation from hell, we have to proceed with our favorite time, the recap from the previous last session, especially because we have two players that are returning in this session. We are once again we have Moonlight and Scruffy with us, so we can proceed forward with the points, because by the point of the time of this episode releasing, their makeup sessions will have already been incorporated into the last episode. Thank you, editing in future. But anyway, in the last previous session, we caught up with Sticky Joe, and, well, Sticky Joe showed us that he really is he goes at his own pace, because instead of following behind everyone in the Redwood Forest and just proceeding straight to the sanctuary, he decided to actually take a left turn and go a different route. And because Sticky Joe, of course, does have a few goals that he is trying to accomplish, and then he came across a hut, and lo and behold, he found Bethany. But that's not really right, because above board, dear listeners, Bethany was there waiting for all the players, but they decided, nah, we're going to go this direction. And, well, encountering there was one of the Axelinen clan, but Sticky Joe wasn't caring about any of that. All he cared about was, hey, this is a friend, a co-worker. He thought she was gone for good or anything, but she seems to be doing really good. Just something is not right, but, well, they had a conversation, and then at the end of it, Bethany asked Sticky Joe, hey, take this to Riley for me. And it's a box. He was explicitly stated, do not open the box. And god damn it, I am proud of Joe. He has not opened that box. But he hasn't given it to Riley yet. But we can see what's going to proceed going into the next day. There's still 48 hours. What will happen? We don't know. And then afterwards, we learned more about how the bears were forced into the forced hibernation. Dr. Smith had analyzed the genetics of the species and learned that they're very fur follicles, that those are literally just like how our own fingers, toes, they are literally essentially just millions of extra limbs on their body, and they can literally, just like how curling your fists or anything, they can control their fur follicles just like that. And each one has different properties on how they're controlled. Now, and then of course, Maury had procured the ogre parasite sample, but they had also, well, the Mothman was there. They saw him, and they had a conversation. And the Mothman laid it all on the table. No bullshit, no nothing, no trickery, everything. Because the Mothman doesn't understand it. They don't understand these feelings, because for certain adamantites, they don't have, romantic emotions or things of such. They're just there for procreation and advancing the species in their own genetic coding. It all depends. Like the bears, they do have an idea of what romance, but they call it a different term, and the whole idea of courting and all that such. The moth people do not. So Mothman doesn't understand these feelings they have for Maury about why when they think of them, they feel certain ways, and why they wish to ensure that they survive through all of this. And explain the ultimate goal is just to basically prevent the PBSO from ever waking up, taking control of everything up top, and basically herding up the last remnants of humanity after a mass extinction event, and keeping them in the PBSO is basically like a little zoo. And the adamantites can take their rightful place up top and rule the lands, and while at it, get rid of the silica-based species, because they just a little personal grudge that the axolotls have. Maury stayed calm and, well, seemed to agree to go along with everything, and then the Mothman did the last shocking thing and gave Maury their heart. That's where we left Maury off. But then Uretzi had their talk with the Baba Yaga. Uretzi learned, well, it wasn't exactly like, the exact steps on how she can ensure to protect her people and protect the one that the child, essentially at this point in time was being a surrogate for Alkenfell, but with the assistance of the Baba Yaga, well, genetically there is nothing from Alkenfell left. The child is purely going to be of Uretzi's genetic information. But the whole thing is, the Yaga explained that it's not going to be easy. There's many different routes, and a lot of them lead to the loss of someone that Uretzi loves very much, and a loss of quite a few tribesmen. But there is one route. It's going to take a lot of work, but this route can ensure Uretzi meets a happy ending. And the Baba Yaga has given Uretzi the information to take towards the first step. And then, of course, last but not least, we returned back to Sticky Joe as they were exploring the sanctuary and found the fabled burger restaurant. And, well, that's when the Ant King, Joe just didn't want to turn around, but the Ant King was walking behind him the entire time. And with Don Ant, his fight promoter, it was agreed that they would have a little eating contest with the 10-pound burger promotion that they were having, and Joe was gunning it out for a minute, but it was a very close match. The Ant King won. And as everything was coming to a close and Sticky Joe exploding his shirt to fight back the aura of the Ant King, and everyone was leaving, Riley looked at Joe and said, "Hey, this was all cool and everything, dude. I was watching, but he's going to destroy you. Your ass is grass. There's no way you can win in a box, even if it is a boxing match. But unless I teach you something that could potentially give you the upper edge." And Joe went outside intrigued, and Riley has begun helping him to learn the steps of the fabled move, the Dempsey Roll. Where we are going to pick up is the clock is reached midnight, and it is nighttime. Sticky Joe and Riley's looking at Joe. There is not a puddle. It's literally just become like a little stream of just sweat. Sticky Joe, from how long he's been doing this exercise to try to achieve the momentum of making himself look like the Mobius strip with how he's moving his body to start the centripetal force of the Dempsey roll. And Riley was like, "You're going to need some rest because we're going to start up again in about 4 hours, and we're going to begin with about a few hours of sparring and then get right back to this practice again." But Riley and Sticky Joe didn't know. There were some people watching. Not deliberately watching them. They didn't even, at first, a couple of them didn't even know Riley and Sticky Joe were near them. But the other, they saw them from the fast food restaurant, and actually, let's hear from their words exactly. Moonlight, please, could you elaborate?
I'm eating a burger, and I'm just watching Riley's new form, which you kind of hid from me all these years, asshole.
Yes, how was Moonlight's reaction to when she saw Riley release this new form and that with how large and massive he is?
Just a little jarring. I almost dropped my burger, and then I started to drool, and then I realized this explains a few things. I'm not going to say them out loud, but this definitely explains a few things.
But then you notice something, Moonlight, because you do have some heightened senses, enhanced senses. You heard something in the distance. You followed it, and you saw two individuals. It was Bethany and another individual you've never seen before. And when they saw you, Bethany and the other individual, they started to walk away. And when you tried to follow them, your body started to feel heavy. Not your skin, like in your arms, it just started to feel your very veins. And that's when it literally felt like your blood was turning to lead. So you turned around. It's getting close to midnight, and you see Sticky Joe and Riley finishing up. do you follow behind them?
Yeah, just as a little precaution, because as I was following Bethany and the other guy, yeah, there's no way. And if I'm pretty sure he's not gonna follow me, but if he sends anyone after me who can do some weird shit that can obviously kill me, I'm gonna need some backup, at least a little bit.
You're following behind them in the tunnel. You see Sticky Joe runs off ahead. You think he's heading off in the direction of bed and breakfast that you've all been extended a room to stay at. But you've noticed Riley has stopped. Do you proceed forward, or do you walk towards Riley to see what's happening?
I'm gonna walk towards Riley, but if he's stopped, I know something's up, so I'm gonna quietly call out to Riley.
When you call out Riley, you notice something peculiar. When Riley lifts his head, it's not from hearing your name called. It's more just like answering to hearing a noise. Do you proceed forward?
Okay, is any of my moonlight danger sensors going off?
Hold on, Moonlight, because I do know the player for personal reasons they're having to lay down, so I'm going to roll a d20 for you real quick, Moonlight.
Thank you.
Okay, that's a 12. So, Moonlight, when you were first looking at Riley outside, so actually, wait, let me make sure that this is correct if I am remembering correctly. Can Moonlight read auras?
When she's in this, I don't know how to put it. When she's hyper aware, she can, or when she has that animalistic danger sense that something isn't right, she can. Because I believe we talked
Excellent.
about that back in the Marauder archive.
Yes, I just wanted to ensure that that was correct. So, Moonlight, whenever you've normally
I'm just happy
seen
I remembered.
Normally, when you've seen Riley's aura in the past, it has always been very beautiful to you. It's just been a bright gold, exuding love. But now, when you're looking at Riley standing there holding his head, looking around, you see this black miasmic like wall. And hold on, let me make sure. Okay, there we go. Okay, okay. Just it was like a weird echo there for a second. All right, continuing on. When you're looking at Riley, you see this black miasmic like wall, and you've never really seen shapes. Normally, it's just color, but this time you're clearly seeing just what looks like skull, like faces wailing, in this black miasmic like aura exuding from Riley right now. And then when the face turns, you just see one eye and the whole face is just like black to you. This eye darts around looking, and then it looks at you, and the pupil just literally gets smaller and smaller. Oh, aren't you pretty? Well, the little guy's done pretty good for himself.
Who are you?
Oh, how rude of me. I'm Loki. You must be Moonlight.
I am, and what are you to Riley?
Oh, I'm a little offended. He's never told you about himself, really. But then again, I can understand why he'd want to forget. Why he'd put us away, lock us away. Yes. Well, I'm the one that was there to make him not feel alone. I was there to make him feel like there was someone to be with him. Whenever the screams would come at night, I would be there to comfort and take control. And when we met her, she helped me take form.
Who did you meet to help you take form?
Okay, Moonlight, I just did a roll for you, and you couldn't even fathom this speed as, like, before your blink even finished, his face is already leaning down in front of you. His nose is almost touching yours. Can you keep a secret?
Of course I can.
Okay. If you would have been anybody else, I would have had to kill you right here and now. But Riley loves you, so I'm gonna let the little guy. No, I won't do that. But shh. Gaia can hear everything, little lady. She knows everything. She's everywhere. Let me ask you a question, Moonlight. did you ever think, with everything going on with this planet, the entity that is literally the core, creatures from higher dimensional planes, did you ever think maybe the planet would become sentient its very self?
Honestly, I've had theories, but nothing was ever concrete.
Moonlight, you notice his eyes are closed and he's taking a deep breath in, just. You smell just like them.
Them?
Our parents, our creators, the ones who began everything, the ones who came from far past the Milky Way, past the Andromeda, close to the Betelgeuse galaxy. They came here and began the very life, and they gave me and my siblings our gifts. The poor little healer was jealous. Why live so long for when everything you love will die, but not you? No. That's why little Yeeler was jealous of the other two.
Yellow. I
Yes,
know that
yes,
name.
yes. Yes, the one Riley was before, the ones that came and made this planet. They gave life to Alkenfell, Lahal, and Yeeler. Two in one body, and one with a life that would begin over and over. One that, no matter the generation, would be there to teach the next lives what they need to know. But he was so alone.
That must have been devastating.
Yes. I can see why Riley likes you, because you're very smart, very smart. Yes. It was truly devastating. Healer could not take it, knowing that over trillions of years, every time he found a love, they would die before his very eyes. They were never susceptible to be able to truly have the true reincarnation that Yila has. So Yila sought the only way. His mind split, and we were born. Riley, Adonis, Diamite, and then me, Loki.
And you guys watch out for each other.
Yes.
Should Riley die from old age and be reborn again, does that
Oh,
mean another?
Moonlight? Oh, well, you just said some words that you, hold on.
You're cutting out.
Hold on, Moonlight. I just got to give you an intellect roll real quick because you just said a key phrase that just triggered a look on Loki's face. Okay, thank God. You had to beat a 15. You rolled a 17, so you're good. You see, Loki has a look on his face that is just pure bloodlust and anger. But please just finish the previous statement you were making real quick.
I forgot what I was gonna ask.
You were asking if Riley would die.
If Riley was to die in his natural cycle of old age, would the personality Riley die, or would it be with you guys and a new personality come to be?
No. Riley will. No, I will ensure the world would burn before I let the little one suffer. I am the one who does the things that need to be done, no matter the consequences. So I can ensure he has a smile at the end of the day.
Thank you for taking care of my Riley. And she just smiles at him. But I do have another question. You said I smell like them, but I was born on Earth and I have no idea who my parents are. Well, not my both parents. But what? But if I belong to them, if I'm one of those species, what species would I be?
This is truly amazing in this moment. You see, Moonlight, someone has been lying to you because I can assure you your birth was most definitely not on this planet.
What?
I can definitely tell you that, yes, you have some carbon in you. But no. Yes, that's
Definitely from your paternal side. So that must be your father. But no, your mother. No, no, no. Your mother is most definitely. I smell the elders. So your mother was. She may not have been part of the exact first group that came, but your mother was most definitely of the species. I only know the name, the proper tongue, in the carbon tongue, well, the queen speech, which you would all call the elder race. Do you remember the museum, that form you saw on the wall, Moonlight?
Yes.
That is the species your mother hails from. Now, a very peculiar thing about their species is that, yes, they may look like that, but that's only because of their choice. They technically don't have a solid full form. They are able to change their form at will. They take the form that they believe is best. And, well, I believe that your mother took a form that would be most acceptable for your father. And that's how you were born. Yes, 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 yes. Now you see, Moonlight, there's things about yourself you don't even know yet. And,
Yeah.
well, because of how much you mean to Riley, I think I'll be a little nice. Kaya is the one that helped me take form, like I told you. Right now, she's asleep. It's been a very long time since she's been awake. It's been that since the mass death. But, well, I'm thinking, how about the next time if I am able to really take form, take control, I will go speak to Gaia, and maybe I will talk about ensuring that little park of yours, that you all be okay.
Okay.
Well, little Moonlight, I have to go back. I have to go back behind the green door. The
Wait,
little
yeah.
one. Yes?
Riley has doors in him?
Little one. Little one, well, I say a door because that's what it looks like inside the mind, but maybe it's
Oh.
something much more. The best way is it looks to Riley like a green door made of vines. I have to go back now because the little one, his mind and body can't, unless we have our horns, his little body can't handle me coming out.
What
It's
was his
just,
horns?
oh, why don't you
Wait,
ask?
since when did he have this?
Do you look up at Riley's forehead?
Yep.
You see two scars to where it looked like there were stumps, like something was protruding from Riley's forehead. Do you know that old saying of, well, most of the text is lost to me, but I believed it was when he was bestowed his gift, the devil gave him wings. Well, that's been lost in translation, because the true text is, when Gaia gave Loki his horns, the trickster was truly given flight. And if you would like to know more, why don't you speak to that one that's all sticky and everything and ask him what's in the box?
Is that a good idea?
Well, well, I can only tell you two things. That if you decide to break the rules and open it and check yourselves, something will happen. It all depends who's in the room. But if you follow the rules and you give Riley the box, we'll be one step closer to me having my wings again. It's up to you, though.
But why would you want me to ask Sticky Joe to open the box? Don't you want your wings?
You see this terrifying smile and so this time, Moonlight, you do not make the intellect roll. You rolled a 9. You had to beat a 15. So what happens is that smile on his face with his eyes like rolled up and just you feel more terrified in this moment, and we're essentially going to put you at Moonlight, I need you to be careful because you're at a dangerous point right now with your sanity. One false thing happens and you're going to go insane. Like full on insanity. And this will affect you for the next 3 to 4 sessions. So all he says to you is this, Moonlight. Well, I am a trickster now, aren't I?
Yeah, I suppose you are.
Well, Moonlight, it's been fun. Now, remember, you made a promise. This is just conversation was just between me and you, a secret. And Riley will be coming back, and I can tell you right now, he's looking forward to seeing you right
Oh,
now. This is when does Moonlight pay attention to Loki's eyes?
oh, she's paying attention to Loki's everything. She is scared shitless.
You notice the biggest thing as the shift happens is Riley's eyes. You notice when Riley takes over, his pupil looks like it's constantly shifting between 5 different pupils in one spot. So it kind of looks like a pentagram that his pupil makes as you see like one pupil shifting over to a different position. Oh, hey, honey.
Hey, honey.
Oh.
She just holds him really tight.
He wraps his big mass because he's still in his big massive form. He's just, oh goodness, oh, well, I got a lot of explaining to do. But I hope you're not grossed out by my real form.
I mean, you're still the Riley I know and love, so how can I?
He picks you up in a princess carry. He's just, God, I love this woman. Now, realistically, what would Moonlight like to do for the rest of the night?
She's really too scared to make any decisions, but she's hiding it very well. She just wants to be held by Riley and let him take the lead. So whatever Riley wants to do at that point on.
Oh.
Wait, she snaps out of it real quick. Is like, wait, Riley, Bethany, bitch Bethany, whatever her damn name is, axolotls and dying.
He stops and he turns and looks at you.
She tells Riley about the Quick Girls Day. She lets him know that she'll tell him all about it later. But she tells him that she's been watching him in Sticky Joe training and she saw him transform. And then she was trying to mimic whatever the hell they was doing. But she saw Bethany and Axolotl. She decided to see where that bitch was going. And she got close, but then the axolotl saw her, did it, and she even mimics a hand sign, and she knew she was gonna die because her whole body felt like blood. And she tells Riley that she decided to retreat because she wanted to make sure that if nothing else, regardless of what happened, at least he'll know that she found Bethany with axolotls.
See, so, and Riley asked you, like, as you guys are talking, would you be able to, like, maybe write down a description of what they look like, maybe even, because just give me the description, they can, maybe working together, you guys can try to draw a depiction of what this individual looks like. Because even though you say axolotl, Riley is at a loss to what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, my adventures in life were slightly different than yours. So she takes out one of her little notebook that she keeps on her, and she very perfectly draws Bethany full attire, axolotl, the hand sign. It's these weird fish, lizard, aquatic guys. Well, not really lizards. I have no idea what they are, but I know they're called axolotls, and they're scary.
Even though Riley is 9 feet, 9.5 feet, 500 pounds of pure muscle, Riley is shaking in fear as he is looking at this depiction you've drawn and the hand signs. And then specifically, because actually, Moonlight, I'm going to do one thing real quick. God damn, Moonlight, you drew a really good depiction because you needed to beat a 12 and you rolled a 16. So the last thing we're going to do for you with you Moonlight is Riley's going to look at the picture and go, honey, that's one of the board members of the park.
What?
Yeah, he always called himself, he, okay, if I'm remembering correctly, his name was Mashima, and he said his name, and the last name was the Zenin clan. And Riley writes it down for you. It's spelled XEN apostrophe NIN. And whenever this guy would show up, even the master would be terrified of this guy.
No,
Oh no.
that's his name. Alconfell used to tell me if I see an axolotl, stay away from them. He never really explained why though, but he always warned me to never get seen and never get caught.
I think we should get everyone together in the morning. We'll go meet we'll have breakfast, and I think we should talk about everything going on, because this is some heavy stuff right here, honey.
Honestly, let me ask you, with Bethany being involved with them, he's a board member, and that makes me think that she was just a plant. What is our actual chances of getting out of whatever the hell is going on? What is our chances to getting out alive? And be honest with me.
So Riley, he holds his chin, closes his eyes, and he's thinking hard. Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Moonlight. If we wouldn't have talked to Sugar Bear, and this whole honestly giant spectacle wasn't going to be set up, I was going to be honest that our odds of surviving were going to be maybe at best 20%. But now, with how everything is progressing, and with certain information known, I do believe our percentage of surviving all of this and getting back to the park, we got about a good 80% chance of surviving.
Oh, that's much better. I'm actually really shocked. But there's no guarantee.
So,
That's what I don't like.
actually, before I found Sticky Joe at the burger place, I'd actually been doing a little research on on the sanctuary here. That's actually the name of this cave system. Technically, a third party controls this area, and so I guess like the only thing we know about these individuals is that they're called. Oh God, what was it? Riley pulls out a notepad, looking at it. Yes, there we go. It's the in between the veil. Those between the veil. Now, the plane that these individuals come from, it's something outside our. I can even explain in any kind of sense, but their whole deal is they watch over and everything, and they have certain points that are designated that is like under their control and a neutral zone. And if anything is like violated and any type of deals are, well, they become, under lock and code with them, and any denizens from the sanctuary hold this. So apparently, like when Mothman made the promise with Sugar Bear, that became binding. And if he violates that contract, these higher entities will do something. All I've heard, it's like apparently like the last person that violated any type of deal that was done here in Sanctuary, they were placed into a black hole and the exact term was forced to feel what it's like to be spaghettified for 96 hours.
Oh.
And then their body was painfully regrown, and they felt all of it.
Ouch.
So essentially what it is, oh wait, yeah, here it is. They were thrown in a black hole. And then after 96 hours, they were picked back up, and what was left of them in a goo pile, they essentially did something that allowed their genetic coding to rebuild itself. And we're talking about like regrowing the top of their head slowly and then getting to the point of. So yeah, just imagine doing that and having to do the entirety of your body and feel that. So I think that's honestly why our survival rate is so high, is because if the Mothman tries to violate anything of this deal, he will have to deal with them.
I mean, I would be behaving myself if that was my guaranteed punishment.
Oh, and then I met this really, 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 really cool guy. Oh my God, I can't believe I totally forgot to tell Joe and everyone I wanted you all to meet him. He is so cool. And as you're going, all Riley tells you is, apparently his name is Fenrir.
Wait, I think Moonlight knows that name.
So Moonlight, hold on. One last thing I'm going to do for you. So you rolled a 9, and for that roll, I'm going to say you know legends linked with this name. Of course, you know the Norse mythology giant wolf Fenrir, but then you've heard tales of there's something else that comes from this name, an entity that many points in times you have found the name Fenrir linked into it.
Huh.
Now,
So I'm just gonna happily listen to Riley go on and on about Fenrir.
and as you two are going towards on your way for the rest of the night, we're going to go to Scruffy. Scruffy,
Yeah.
you had your big meeting, the 3 questions with the Baba Yaga. You had the information revealed to you. The biggest answer, though, the 2 things you have been on your mind, though, was about how something you are not reaching your true potential. There is more to Scruffy than what you've been doing now. You've heard this all your life. You thought it was just some stupid, like what parents say to their child or anything. But apparently this has some really deeper meaning to it. And you got to find some sloth, and you have no idea. It's like the only term sloth you've heard is, the 7 deadly sin. But she wants you to find some person or creature that's a sloth. You have no idea. But then the big one, as you're getting through this big dance battle and everything, all these things to clear your guys' names, secure that you can just go back to the park and do your job and do it right like you always do. Once you see the goose, everything will be good. But then you just think in horror as you remember that goddamn cryptid, and you really hope it is not that goose she is talking about.
It couldn't possibly be.
And as Scruffy says these words, we go far out, not to outside the Redwood. No. We go to Atlanta, Georgia, and somewhere in the shining lights, cameras, and paparazzis are flashing lights to a Hollywood premiere of a film, and we just hear a honk, and just the letters GC anagrammed on what looks like a very interesting velvet jacket that this very short individual is wearing. And we go back to you, Scruffy, but it couldn't be such a thing. But it's gotten quite late. For you, though, we turn back the clock a little bit. It's about 10 p.m. What would Scruffy be doing at night here in the sanctuary? And it's pretty much, imagine a cyberpunk version of cliff dwellings, all inside of a vast subterranean network. Because even though there's a lot of buildings built into the sides of these cave walls or made with rocks, a lot of them are very technologically advanced. And we'll say you notice there are, of course, some regular looking bars. There is one nightclub that has a line about 3 blocks long, and you just see these spotlights going off up in the sky. You see the symbol of interesting. You thought it was like a torch or something, but it clearly looks like a mop. Or you can head back to the hotel, back to the bed and breakfast you guys have been offered to stay here for the next 3 nights. What would Scruffy do?
Scruffy would probably head to the bed and breakfast and see if there's anything he could clean up in there. He wouldn't want to leave a mess for anyone else to have to deal with.
Oh, I am very happy that you chose the bed and breakfast option, because as you get there, Scruffy, honestly, this is where the real vacation begins, because Scruffy, this is the first place you've walked in that has truly been immaculately clean. You don't need to do it. You truly feel you can put away your broom. You don't, because that's how clean and immaculate the bed and breakfast is. And as you're going, you hear the hostess say, "Oh, darling, oh, honey, doll, don't forget there is dinner available. We actually cut off food services like around 1 a.m., especially on this time of the week, because people do like to go have a fun time, and having a nice home meal before you go to bed can really help." And the young lady that this was, as you do know, that this is the proprietor, Miss Jolene, and Jolene Parton and her elderly mother, Dolly Parton. They're
Unfortunately, Scruffy also knows that nothing can be so perfectly clean, and he starts feeling his arm twitch a little bit as he's starting to believe he might be getting taken in for a ruse.
Can you roll me a d20 real quick, Scruffy?
I sure can. That's a 12.
Okay, you meet the same roll I did, so this is actually going to be very interesting. Scruffy, you're really trying. You got this itch that something ain't right, and you're just like, it's too clean. They're trying to. There's got to be another one of those goddamn cults or something. Just until you bump into someone, and this gentleman, he's wearing actually, it's a pretty bomb purple zoot suit. It has a purple with green pinstripes, and he has a looks like green alligator skin suede loafers. And you see he has like a rag and a magnifying glass and what is clearly like a spray bottle in a holster at his waist. And granted, he is wearing a very nice like purple with green pinstripe scarf around his neck. So I do apologize, my good sir. I take it you couldn't really believe that there could be such a place that is this clean. I mean, what are they hiding? What are their secrets? Because nowhere is this clean.
Scruffy's going to internally scream and maybe just a little bit externally screaming as he sees the thing that he sees when he takes too much allergy medication. The cleaning
wait
man.
a minute. Oh shit,
the cleaning
wait
man
a minute.
has come for him.
Oh no, wait a minute. I just realized your normalcy field, so I have to actually do a little something because you're going to be seeing the truth of what this man looks like. Oh, God damn it. The best way to describe this. So it's not that, God damn it, it just seems more like this cleaning spirit because his body doesn't even seem really like truly physical. It's just like more, you're like, oh God, it's the specter of cleaning because it's as if his body's not even here. And hold on, I'm actually going to roll for this individual real quick. Luck be on his side tonight. They actually are able to see the apprehension in your eyes. I'm not going to really call it terror because it's just you're nervous and all this good. You're in a place you're uncomfortable with, and they're just, oh dear. Did you actually say the spirit of cleaning out loud, Scruffy?
No, I specifically stated whatever this cleaning spirit is.
Gotcha.
Reminds
Thank you.
Scruffy of the thing that he sees when he takes too much allergy medications.
Gotcha. Thank you kindly. I just needed that specific. Finra, it's not. Sorry, the individual is not like they read your mind or anything, so they're not going to say that sinister. Just, you must be someone who's attained a higher metaphysical state. Were you someone who has ingested mushrooms in the past?
What?
You know, like the ones that they call it's the P word, punkadelic, psychedelic. Have you ever ingested psychedelics in your life, good sir?
No. I would never do that. Who told you such a thing?
Okay, well, so he is so out of date. He doesn't understand that you're basically like, no, you're a narc. He doesn't understand this. Like, he's so out of date, and he's just, sir, I do assure you, I am no local, just mere local alchemist, or even with the clergy, my good man. No. I am a man of, well, you could say, of very distant travels. It's just, if you are someone who has, well, tried to ascertain with the third eye, it causes people of your make, what is carbon-based life forms, people of your stature, that when you ingest such a thing, you are able to loosely interpret my true form. And I am no ghost. I am not the specter of a loved one long gone, or some kind of entity of whatever you think. I am just a humble entity of the 11th dimension who has gotten lost, who has been stuck here since the cracking of those lovely planets that summoned me here. My name is Finra, good sir. And he extends a hand out to you to shake, Scruffy.
Well, my mom always taught me someone with a funny name is probably trustworthy. Put her there, Fenner.
You know what? This is the first time I've ever heard that pronunciation, and I kind of like it. So you know what? You go right ahead, and you may call me that. And I'm at a little bit of a loss because normally encountering people, they have to. 9 times out of 10, they make a cult about me, and it just goes stupid. So this is quite refreshing to talk to someone who doesn't have that happen to. What is your name, good sir?
You can call me Scruffy. Long as you're not actively doing the Colts yourself, I'll be all right with you.
I-
Now, like I said, put her there, Finny.
He happily shakes your hand, and Scruffy, roll me a d20 real quick.
That's a 5.
So I actually need to ask you, what do you think is going to happen to Scruffy? Scruffy, beings of Finwar's kind, when they make friends, it's only normal that you share your entire life story and you share it through and you transport it to their mind and they get to literally see it through their eyes. You
Does that
are
happen if I shake with my cybernetic arm?
Actually, go ahead, roll me advantage now. Do a re-roll real quick.
Well, that one's an 18.
Okay, would you like to block this from happening?
I would like to drip feed the information I'd like him to see.
Excellent. So, Scruffy, you're not going to get Halloweened. You're not going to, because the vast amount of information that's going to go. Because thankfully, your cybernetic, that arm, the prototype, it's actually going to fully just turn into like a wristwatch now. And because of how much information it's having to process, you're not going to have to worry about it wigging the fuck out for a few sessions.
Okay.
Now, the information you are seeing about this gentleman is essentially this entity, Fenrir. He's part of a 3-part system because what humanity believes to be the moon is not the moon. That is actually this entity's brain. And chasing behind the brain, granted, people who haven't had their third eye are taking psychedelics would not see this, but there's a gargantuan, unfathomably large tentacled monstrosity flying, trying to get to the moon to swallow it. That is Fenrir's body. The
I
entity
knew it
you
was
are
made of
seeing
cheese.
well, and Fenrir's just like, you really think my brain is cheese? And then the entity you see in front of you is essentially Fenrir's spirit given flesh. Now, the reason why this has happened is the last piece of information you're going to get before any other time will be spoon-fed to you is that he comes from a dimension to where there is only one ever male of his species. There's millions of females, but there can only be one male. And that when it comes time for the male to give up its seat, it will mate, and then the baby, when it hatches, will devour the father and become the new apex of this literal dimension. What happened was, here in this dimension, in the third dimension, when the asteroid belt that's above Earth, when it's believed that actual fun science fact that it was 2 planets that collided and they shattered, and that's what helped the cause create the moon. In this universe, when those 2 planets crashed, it caused such a schism in the third dimension that it caused Fenrir to be like, hey, that's the perfect place to mate and to inject a planet with the egg. An 11th dimensional being cannot fully truly be in the third dimension. So when Fenrir's mate impregnated the planet, the baby became stillborn and it can never hatch from the Earth. That's the big secret, is the thing inside the planet is dead. It's a stillborn tentacle creature. But because of that, Fenrir, he's supposed to die, but this has completely disrupted its life cycle, and now he's fucking stuck. And because this unlimited dimensional being has been on this planet, it's basically become a magnet for weirdness. That's why all this shit happens on Earth now. And you see that when Fenrir first came to this dimension, Earth was much smaller. It was smaller than Mars. And now, after all of this, your planet is now the size, like a little bit bigger than Jupiter. And then the last thing you see, with connection of this, is when the splitting happened and Fenrir's mind became the moon. His body is just slowly just chasing after it. Fenrir woke up and was surrounded by a bunch of cavemen, because we had gotten to this point after the aliens had come, and these ones end up making a death cult. And Fenrir just like smacks his head and is like, oh dear God, what is happening? And throughout times in history, you see like the fall of Rome. It was because they were giving tribute to Fenrir, and Fenrir's just like, will you stop? And what does Scruffy spoon feed for Fenrir?
He shows him his own father giving him his first broom, a glimpse of him cleaning his first window, buying his first vacuum. You know,
So
just those kind of images, that history for him.
So I rolled for Fenrir to see like how he would emotionally do with just the first broom, and oh no, that just like he breaks down, just sobbing, just that is truly the most beautiful memory I've ever seen. Ah! And so after this exchange and handshake, Fenrir looks in and goes, "It is an honor to make your full acquaintance, my Mr. Scruffy, and I hope with this we can consider ourselves true friends now. And well, even I wish to know more about you. And you are as I said, you are one of the first, anyone on this planet that has not been affected by just my presence. And honestly, I must apologize, but I feel like I can actually have a normal experience just being around you. So if you don't mind, I would like to maybe spend more time around you, sir."
I would be okay with that. I feel we are brothers in the janitorial art.
He happily hands you an extra scrub brush, and you guys just proceed to inspecting the bed and breakfast. And Jolene and looking at her mom, Dolly, is just, Mom, I don't think those two are look quite right. And so, for reference, hold on, let me find the. Okay, so for a good reference, real quick, Scruffy, Jolene looks more like the younger bear, and Dolly looks like the older female. And you see two other gentlemen, an older gentleman with a corncob pipe coming out of his mouth and a floppy hat, just looking at you two going, you guys look like you could do with a little bit of the wacky tobacco to help calm down. Don't you know you in the hillbilly bed and breakfast the most calm and some of the best food, bed and breakfast in the entirety of this planet. I'm Papa Billy. This is my boy Junior. You see the youngest one, he's holding like a jug in his hand with a very large floppy hat and a blue vest. Hey, Pa, I think they may have already ingested the wacky tobacco. No, Junior. These two look like they paranoid from another reason. Is Scruffy going to take the invite from this older gentleman for the to imbibe in the wacky tobacco?
Scruffy's going to decline, and he's going to say, now you understand it's rude to interrupt someone when they're doing the thing that they love. You understand that, right?
He takes off
I wouldn't come to your house and knock the banjo out of your hands. I suspect you wouldn't come to me while I'm relaxing with my friend here and scrubbing your tubs.
His
Now
eyes
think,
go wide.
let these two artists work.
He takes his hat off from his head, puts it to his heart, and goes, well, I declare, I have never met two men with such a passion for the janitorial arts. Now, Junior, these men got a gift that we must not interrupt. Pa, they're radiating. I know, son. Let's just watch them work. You have made the hillbilly family just in awe of you, because I rolled to see if they would like argue. They rolled on that one. Your janitorial arts have won them over. When Moonlight and Riley get to the bed and breakfast, Riley's just like showing Moonlight like, see, this is the guy I was talking about. And Moonlight, you see Fenrir is just, Scruffy, do you accept like the hazmat suit Fenrir would have provided for you to start really cleaning?
Or have a matching one?
Yep.
Then yeah.
Yeah, they're in matching hazmat suits, and they're just getting this cleaning. And before I go into, because I actually just want to ask from everyone else what the night was for them, and then I'm going to have you all do recovery rolls to refill your pools. But Moonlight, how do you react upon seeing this? Oh, Moonlight, are you there right now? Oh no, we've lost the moonlight. Okay, I will come back. First, let me actually wait. Oh, but before that, let me I'll actually come back because I will actually just go around because I'm actually going to start with you, Yuretsi. Yuretsi, how was the rest of the night? Because granted, you did say that you were just going to lay down in the room offered from the Baba Yaga, but what was the rest of the night like for you?
Honestly,
All right, then also. Okay, there are no shenanigans or any of that. As I said, like any type of connection that there was with Alkenfell has fully been severed. And yeah, they're not the phone call, they can't even call you anymore. Now, and the other thing that feels much different for your Uretsi is besides that link that was there subconsciously and they were able to see through your eyes, there is no more of that. But there's also something else, though. Because, of course, and when you were in your mind, you saw yourself vomit that, literally the essence of Alkenfell. In the real metaphysical world, in the real world outside of that memory, you before you went to sleep, you felt around your mouth, and of course, you actually didn't vomit because you don't feel like your mouth doesn't feel burning or anything, but at the same time, you do feel lighter. You lay there with Bruno. Okay, Grazie,
yes,
roll me a d6 real quick, please.
that's a 5.
Okay, you roll the 5 on the d6. You are a tier 2, so you may go ahead and add 7 to all your pools, because that's going to be your recovery for the night. So go ahead and add 7 to everything. And yes, that is literally how we just refill pools when you guys rest. You just roll a d6, add your tier, and that is how much we will refill all your pools by. You don't have to roll per one, though. So you just do one roll. So, and was there any things of significance that you would like Yuretsi to have, like a dream-wise or anything, before moving on?
Honestly, I think maybe not having a dream is probably like best scenario after all that happened.
Then because of how you have been, because for everything, I will actually reward that for you, Yuretsi. You have the best night because you just get to sleep. There is no dream, no nothing, no worry, no visions. It's just you close your eyes, and then when you open them again, it's morning, and you feel refreshed. And so with this, you will be able to, you feel much better. Your pools are all filled with 7. And going into this next day, you don't feel as anxious. You don't feel clouded. And I will allow you for any crucial moments to ask up to, be fair, I'll say one question, clarifying question. But it can't be like it has to be like, what is the most dangerous thing around me? What can I do to ensure, what can I do to get through this, or something vague on the lines of that. I will allow one of those types of questions going forward. And now let me move on to now before forgetting on, because I actually would like to finish up then thematically just asking Scruffy. Scruffy, if you could roll me a d6 real quick.
That's a 6.
Okay, you're tier 2, so you get, if you've had any pools depleted, please go ahead and add 8 to them back for all 3. And same question as I just asked Yuretsi. Is there any, because you had a higher roll, you're getting a higher amount of the pool back? What was the favorable night? Was it just go to sleep, blackness, and wake up feeling refreshed? How was it for Scruffy?
I feel as though Scruffy went into a cleaning fugue state and just perfect zen cleaned and continued cleaning until he was finished in the morning and fully refreshed.
My God, you worked your sleep out. My God, he's a machine. Literally, the hillbillies are just like, how does this work, pal? I don't know. They work the sleep out of them. Their work was their sleep.
He just goes into a low power state and continues working. He's like a Roomba.
I love it. I love it. So now another person I've been really waiting on is Dr. Smith. Your experiment was a success, and you have The only restriction I'm going to have is you may fire this gun. You may fire this magnificent rail gun 2 times per session before it overheats. But with this success, what was Dr. Smith? What was she doing for the rest of the night? Dr. Smith! Okay, while we're waiting for Dr. Smith, Moonlight, I just had a quick question for you, which was when you returned home, you saw Scruffy and the individual that Riley said the name Finner were both dressed in hazmat suits and just aggressively cleaning everything.
He's gonna look at them deadpan and almost horrified. What did you two do? And do I need a black light before I sit or touch anything?
I love that. I think that's the perfect way for Moonlight to go into the night. Now, I'm going to, because for you to help you out, I'm going to roll your D6 for you, Moonlight. Okay, you actually got a 4. Because you're a tier 2, you're going to get 6. So for your pools, you're going to put back 6. I'm just going to type it for now. Moonlight, 6 back to pools. So we'll remember to get that on your character sheet. And so because you got higher, because if it's lower than 3, you're going to have kind of more of a crappy night. But because you rolled higher than 3, your night was more favorable. How was Moonlight's night? Like, did she just go to sleep, saw nothing, was able to have a peaceful sleep, or did you have any kind of dreams? What was Moonlight night?
Given the events, I'm pretty sure she just really wanted to soak in the bathtub for a little bit and decompress. But I'm pretty sure she's so exhausted from a few things that she just kind of falls asleep in the bathtub.
Riley makes sure to get you out of the tub, because he doesn't want you soaking too long. And it was a good tub. We'll say that's what really helped to get your pools refilled. And I just roll the dice, and he lays you down on the 8-inch mattress. It's a plush 8-inch mattress, and you drift and you have a good sleep.
She has a good sleep, but I think she's gonna have dreams of Loki and the axolotl.
That makes a lot of sense, actually, thematically. Okay. And while still waiting, if we can hear from Dr. Smith, I would like to go to Sticky Joe. Sticky Joe, after that intense training session with Riley, you return to, because as offered, you've all been staying at the Hillbilly Bed and Breakfast. Sticky Joe, first I need you to do me one quick favor. Roll me a D6 real quick.
D6.
Yep.
Got a 1.
Oh. So go ahead, because you're tier 2. That means you're going to refill all your pools with 3. And this, even though you did get much lower, it means you're going to have a harder night. Thematically wise, this does make sense. You've gone through quite a lot so you're going to go ahead, put 3 into all your pools. But what was Sticky Joe's night? And what was your reaction as Sticky Joe? You see these two individuals in hazmat suits just furiously cleaning the bed and breakfast.
Well, Joe remembers that at the park there's a similar crew that is there to clean up the bodies. And, so I was like, oh, they got one of these things here too. Oh, that's pretty neat. Joe's night, when he eventually goes to sleep, he's gonna try to, like, in D&D, like how wizards don't sleep, they meditate, and that's their sleep. He wants to kind of like meditate with MacGyver and get a little less, pep talk and whatever he needs to get him ready to fight the Ant King.
So, Siddhartha appears to you as MacGyver, and he's just like cocking an eyebrow. Just let me type in this response real quick.
Joe decided that if he wins this fight, or does like really good, he's hoping that restaurant, that burger place, will have a brand new burger. It's like the Western burger, but with honey dip bolts.
So
and, you gotta sign a waiver to eat it.
Roll me a D20 real quick.
Okay, that is a 11.
Okay, I only rolled a 3, so you beat me. So what's going to happen is before you left the burger place, they did tell you that because of all the business and all the hype going on right now, they offered that if you are even able to just like make it past the first 2 rounds against the Ant King, they will happily make a burger after you.
I will call it the Armstrong, the sticky Armstrong burger.
And so far, the idea is it's basically just going to be a Luther burger, to where they're playing with the idea of having 2 glazed donuts be the bun to represent the stickiness of Sticky Joe. And then, of course, okay, good. So, dear listeners, I just want to let you all know, Dr. Smith, they will be taking tonight off, and as we've said, going forward, we do not auto control characters. So we will find out from Dr. Smith when we do their makeup session how everything went for them during the night and the next day. Just wanted to say that going forward. But so Sticky Joe, and it's going to be the 10-pound burger, of course, but then you just heard that there's going to be so much bacon and maybe an egg you just heard from the fabled Gooseless Cage.
There's
You've
only
only
two
heard
people that would ever make him starstruck, and that's MacGyver, and that's Gooseless Cage.
Yes, you know this very actor. Well, actor, goose, avian, man thing. This isn't an adamantite situation. This is literally just somewhere along the lines, a goose and a famous actor had both fallen into a pit hole of the PBSO, and their genetics were fused to where this actor and avian had become fused into a whole new entity, and Gooseless Cage was born.
Mother of God, it's beautiful. If I have a chance, I want my autograph. I want Gooseless Cage to tattoo my neck, a portrait of us, maybe like fighting zombies or something. I don't know. I'll give him free reign.
So, and you've seen him in many movies. One of your personal favorites is, of course, will always be Peggy Sue Got Married. Now, the only thing is, you're like, wait, eggs, huh? And that's when the part of the legend that makes Gooseless Cage a cryptid is that supposedly Gooseless Cage lays golden eggs that, upon consumption, just for a brief moment of time, your body will reach the state of perfection. That is, well, according to your body. So let's say like you're a person who that's underweight, has no muscle or anything. The minute you eat this egg, you're like basically an Adonis, an Arnold Schwarzenegger. Granted, it's not permanent. It lasts for maybe 3 days, but in those 3 days, your body is just perfection.
Wow.
Now, you've heard this as legends, but the idea of them making a burger of this, you can only fathom what the price would be, but hopefully because it's named after you, you get it for free.
At least the first one's free.
So, but now, Peggy, as I said, the gestation cycle for the Mogwais is actually much quicker than normal carbon-based humans. So Peggy is essentially at 8 months pregnant to what a human would be. So she is very pregnant, very emotional, except female Mogwais, when they are at their most pregnant, is when they are at their most dangerous and powerful. She could essentially lift a car and fucking pile drive it on you. So it's best to just leave Peggy to her devices. So I'm gonna let you do what you do, but if anything happens, I will have you roll. So how does Joe wake up with Peggy and everything?
So she been liking to sleeping in lately, and she hasn't wanted to see Joe too much lately, except for from the drop off food and rubber feet, and of course blame him. You did this to me. So as quiet as a shadow, I am gonna get out of this bed, leave like 5 plates of the most elaborate German food you can imagine, because she's on a German food kick right now.
Okay,
and
so
I'm gonna get the fuck out of there.
all right, so the first roll is that, and then for the second one, okay. All right, and now for the final one. Joe, you are the luckiest person alive for these rolls right now. So what happens is Peggy's eyes shoot open when you first get out of the bed, but then she smells your offerings, and just in the blink of an eye, everything is gone, and Peggy's already just bunched up under the blanket, and you hear just a, "Your offerings are acceptable. Love you, honey."
Love you too. And there's something I'd like to do before I go to where the fight is.
Oh, no, don't worry. You still have one. So today is only day 2. You still got 2 more days of training and other things you may do. You don't have to go straight to the training field yet. Because right now, the way we do this is the first session is the first half of the day, and then next week will be the second half of the day. We still got another 3 more sessions before the big event happens. So on this morning, would Joe read the paper or anything?
Yeah, he likes to read the paper with his morning coffee.
Yeah, you see yourself on the front page. You see yourself doing the boxing, glaring at each other at the Ant King, and then let me see. Oh shit, they were able to get the shot perfectly of when you just did your flexing against him and your shirt exploding. So it's literally Ant King glaring down at you, you glaring up and flexing in your shirt in mid-explosion.
Gonna laminate that.
And the front page is, can carbon stand up to adamantite?
Well, with enough training and roids, anything's possible. Sticky Joe does not endorse roiding, though.
So, Sticky Joe, would you be interested in the TV that's playing, or would you be just heading out and going to do your thing? Granted, you do notice the home is immaculately clean. If there was a black light done, just as Scruffy said in the Discord chat, dear listeners, the room would just be pure black because of how clean it is.
Well, the first thing I want to make sure I have that lacquer box. I made a promise to Bethany, and I want to make sure I honor that. Sticky Joe gets a little ADD at times, so he's going to make sure he has that with him. And as he's tying up his boots and all that, he is going to listen to the TV.
2 things. Roll a d20 real quick.
Okay, 13.
The box stays normal, and there's nothing. You don't hear any whispers or anything. Everything is fine. And as you're watching the TV, listening to the TV, you hear an announcer talking about how the adamantite games are going to be in 2 more days. And as if trying to be some stoic statue leading to the amazingness, the Ant King has just been standing in the ring now, waiting for his match against the park ranger Sticky Joe. Wait, is this that terrorist Sticky Joe? This can't be right. Wait, okay, well, and apparently he's open to taking challengers until then, and you hear some guy going, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you what it really means to get beat, you weird." And before he can even finish, you see him just get bitch slapped by King, and he goes flying until there's just a little sparkle in the sky, and just goes ding. Well, that was, and you hear him just say, "Well, that was the strongest martial artist on Earth." Then he just got bitch smacked into oblivion. Sticky Joe, we hope you have great life insurance and you have written your will.
Do to both. So during that,
Yes.
Did Sticky Joe notice anything, any hint of a weakness in the footage?
Roll me a d20.
Okay. That one.
Nope. You were in awe for when you just saw that amazing slap that just came out of nowhere. And this man has no openings, no nothing. He looks like he's just standing there with his arms down, but you already know, no matter what direction you come from, it's an instant KO. You're getting nervous. You're getting worried. Before we go on, though, there is one last person I need to ask about how their night went. Maury.
Yes.
Roll me a d6 real quick.
I got a 1.
Okay. So thematically, again, this makes sense about why Maury had a difficult night. You're going to go ahead and add 3 to all your pools for your recovery roll. So go ahead and add 3. And then but I would like to know more about the rest of Maury's night. And were there any troubling dreams? Anything that was just really bothering? Why did Maury have such a difficult night?
Maury had a mixture of a memory and a nightmare. In the far distance, he could see a shadow person. But every time he tried to get closer, the figure never got any closer until Maury was full sprinting towards it. but he still couldn't catch up to it. And then suddenly, it's just screaming. And, hold on, is my mic, did I cut out?
No, I heard. You were screaming, and...
Yeah, there was a cacophony of screaming.
Oh, now could you repeat that? Because then you just broke up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know issues. Yeah, just a cacophony of screaming coming from the distance, and then Maury started screaming in return, running and never getting anywhere, till he just wakes up exhausted and sweaty.
You've literally fallen out of the bed you were laying in. Your covers are like halfway on your body and on the bed. The question is, where did Maury stay? Did he want to join everyone at the bed and breakfast or go somewhere else?
What are the other options for him to...
There's actually so allow me to present you your options. You could, of course, stay at Sugar Bear's residence. It's a very, very large mansion, multiple rooms, and of course, there's plenty of guest rooms. You could choose to stay at there is a cheaper motel option, or there is, of course, a 5-star resort option. And then, of course, there is the option of the bed and breakfast. It is a very nice bed and breakfast. It's got great food, and the Hillbilly Bears, they are known for their eccentricities, being eccentric, but they have great service. The beds are amazing, but ultimately it's up to you, Maury. What would you like to do?
I think he'll stay at the bed and breakfast as well, just to observe these weird bears.
You know what? Would you have gone straight to your room, or would you have actually been willing to join for because I imagine you didn't get there super late after the Mothman, because after your conversation with the Mothman, it was only about maybe 6 p.m. So if you did go back to the bed and breakfast around that time, they would be providing what they call the music hour and socialization, which is where they get the banjos and they do their junkyard jug band. And Maury, what makes this interesting is that your company is actually the ones that represent them on their label, and they have to this day have gone quadruple platinum for their albums. They've made you a cool 25 million. It's just you never heard them live. You always thought this was some weird gimmick of them wearing suits. You never understood that. So now you get to see this was all a real, like, this wasn't like a gimmick or act. So what did Maury do after the Mothman?
After Mothman, Maury, he kind of took a walk just to get his bearings before heading back, but he definitely would have been there in time for the entertainment.
And it was during that time that, because yes, you were told also about the Ant King's manager, Don King. It was during that time that as you were heading back, you had actually encountered them leaving the burger restaurant. And as you were walking, let me check real quick. Oh my goodness. To your benefit, the music had started, and you were able to get him talking with you. And roll me another d20 real quick for intellect, Maury, so you'll be able to add 2 to this.
15.
Okay, and that's what adding 2?
Yeah.
Okay, alrighty. You needed to be a 12 to actually get the negotiations to go in your way. What is the wager that you would like to do?
Wager in what?
So, the Mothman told you Don Ant has something in his possession, and the best way to get it from him is to use basically himself against himself, because he's a gambling man. He cannot resist a gamble. You don't know specifically what it is. It's just that he has something in his possession that the Mothman thinks will be in your best interest to help you with the negotiations of the other party that the Mothman told you about. So for this first favorable roll, I'm going to have Don Ant. He has started to get drunk, and his lips have gotten loose, and he looks at you and goes, "Ah, so you've heard the rumors, huh? Yeah, I found it. The fabled horn of Loki, the Shishar that will bring the sound of the end of the world. Thing is, I always thought it was supposed to be a ram's horn. This thing looks like a branch. But I do believe I am the one that owns that.
Not for long.
He cocks an eyebrow at you. Are you thinking your little Sticky Joe can actually provide a real challenge to King?
Never underestimate his power.
He looks at you and goes, I will see your confidence. And how about this? We both put something really up. I know you have a collection. I've heard the rumors, and I've also heard the rumors you got one of the elders. Not some little fossil, not some little thing. Granted, your little scientist that stuck it in your collection, they called it something else. But you got one of the very creators of this planet. So I'm going to make you a deal. I win. I get to go to your collection and I get to see it. Maybe even take a piece of it. But if you win, I will give you the Horn of Loki. Sound like a deal?
All right, deal.
And you shake, and the deal has been set. This is now binding. If you win and he tries to reject, he gets the same fate as I have described, because now the ones behind the veil have seen this deal has gone forth. You sit down, and Maury, even though you feel very confident, because you know what? That wasn't just false bravado. You have seen Sticky Joe pull off what people of like religious faith they would call miracles. Granted, you're not someone who just denotes such things. You just know it's because that man has put in work and hard work and effort. And when you put in that kind of hard work and effort, you got the stones to back it up.
Yeah, Maury has full confidence in Sticky Joe.
But here's the question, though, Maury. What he said about your collection. Would you like to call that site he mentioned about?
Sorry, you cut out.
Sorry. So what I asked was, when he was talking about that site for your collection, that specific location, you couldn't stop thinking about it. Do you want to contact that site?
Because the site has security of sorts. So,
quick question, Maury.
Yes.
Do you have a way to know the current status of securities of these sites, or would you have to, be informed?
Maury would definitely know.
Okay.
He's got his ways.
Excellent. So, as you're just like, well, let me check my tablet that has the information on the security, and you do notice, right now there is a red alert status that has just ended at the site where at your collection for this specimen. Would you like to contact that site?
Yeah, because one of the entities would definitely answer a phone.
So when you answer it, you hear a Dr. Bright. Oh God. Is this Mr. Maury?
What are you doing in my hall?
Oh, sir, I do apologize. Right now, we had a code red because the specimen E that we had found in the Antarctic, that was in the iceberg, it was discovered it was leaking a black substance, and when this black substance had touched one of the security guard's hands, his flesh started to corrode and become just like this black substance, and he literally disappeared into the pool. But the problem, sir, is that he came back through a pool in the wall, and he would drag people away with I'll never forget that look on his face. Thankfully, we discovered he likes pain, and we were able to lock someone, but he dislikes bright lights, like it disables him, makes it to where he stays stationary. So we had to take the head of security and break his femurs, and as he screamed, we shot the lights on it when it came through. So, granted, this did happen, but we would like to inform you of a new part of your collection that we would like to we are codenaming the Old Man.
Interesting.
We can send you the details of the events, and either with both, of course, the text log, but if you would also, we would be more than happy to provide you with the security footage. Just we would need about 4 hours to get everything compiled. If it's sort of text document, it'll take about 2 hours.
That's all right. I don't think that will be necessary.
Oh, and one other thing, sir. We were also able to thankfully close off the wound that was causing the leak from specimen E, but we were able to secure some of the substance, and we have gone ahead and added that to your collection because this substance, sir, if ingested by a carbon-based entity, it will cause their body to completely go through a decellification process. Literally, all the atoms, the cell in the body will break down.
Fascinating. We can use that.
I am so glad because we were thinking around the same way, and we have begun testing on the substance right away, and we will inform you every step of the way, sir, and we will let you know if some of the thoughts that's being thought of about this substance, if it can be applied this way, we will keep you informed.
Excellent. Make sure I get every single detail.
Yes, sir. And if there's nothing else needed, Doc, we are going to we have some few tests that we are actually going to start proceeding with the old man new subject and with the substance. So we will inform you tomorrow of how the tests go and if the weaponization process of either subject proceeds as well.
Good.
Oh, and one more thing, sir. There has been a company that has reached out to us, and yes, Umbrella. Umbrella has reached out to us, and they wanted to know if we could, allow them to take a look at one of our biological samples that we found in the uncharted sections of the ocean. We have dubbed it the T parasite. Would you and the Umbrella, they are offering us about 2.2 trillion. Would you be willing to sell them this parasite, or should we just tell them no?
And how many parasites does Mori have?
4.
I think we can part with one.
I will give them the information for the offshore for the bank account information that they will be sending the funds to, and we will proceed as planned.
Make sure it is securely contained. I don't want a repeat of last time.
Yes, and this is interesting of how this is going to proceed in the morning. And sir, we were actually able to reach out to the UN and the other governing powers. And granted, it's not everyone, but we were able to at least so far work out and clear your name, sir. So we were able to. So thankfully now you have been removed from this large incident that has taken place. But we are finding evidence that everyone else in the park is most definitely not involved with this incident. It's just there are difficulties we're getting with trying to find information.
I need you to remove the information, any and all information, from Moonlight, Riley, Uretzi, and Joe.
We will get right to work on that.
Good. Do not fail me.
And when the line closes, you're given a paper and you see that the front page is Sticky Joe's doing the standoff against the Ant King. Oh, this is after you wake up in the morning from your dream. But Mori, you, even with everything that's going on, you feel confident. And this isn't just, it's just, as you said, like how you have the faith in Joe, you feel there is something that is working to help you all. And potentially the lead that Mothman has given you, and you know in your room you have this beautiful, it's made out of oak, and it's a box, and it holds the Mothman's heart, that you're keeping that in for now. And as we leave you drinking a nice cup of coffee, how does Maury drink his coffee?
Straight black. The
Excellent.
darker the roast, the better.
Excellent. We leave Sticky Joe going down to the area for breakfast. We leave with Maury Scruffy is just coming out of his fugue state of auto clean mode, which he has found a brother in arms because Finmer was doing the same thing and they've just gotten back to cleaning. Moonlight, when you make up in the morning, are you going to join down for breakfast? What does Moonlight do for the morning? Hold on, let me just check something real quick. We will actually go ahead and we'll meet back with Moonlight in the next session because the Moonlight player falling asleep. So Moonlight will come back to in the next session. For now, I would like to come back to Uretzi for the last bit of this session. Uretzi, as you wake up in the morning, would you like to just stay down in the Mantis area, or would you like to go ahead and take transportation and go right back up to the Sanctuary Cave area?
She probably.
Oh, could you repeat that one more time for me?
She'd probably just try to find everyone.
Okay, actually, because then instead of just letting you, I can actually have the last thing that will happen is going to be a group roleplay moment because Uretzi, it's no secret. Everyone you did all know because you were all offered you can be staying at the offers I did, and it was the group consensus. Everyone decided on the Hillbilly Bed and Breakfast, and well, as you're heading back there, and it's pretty damn early in the morning. You woke literally at the crack of dawn, and thankfully, Bruno woke up with you. You both head out. And now, as you encroach up and with the turtle that you ride up in the morning and you exit from their shell, you start heading towards the bed and breakfast. Ritzy, do me a favor and roll me a d20 real quick. Okay, because I rolled a 2. Now, you can go straight to meeting with everyone else and we can trigger the group role play event because of your role just now. Uretzi, your danger senses, they're becoming more refined than just danger. It's becoming literally just the spider sense to where you're giving alerts to something that could pertain to really everything related to what's going on right now. And just as you're about maybe a block from heading to the bed and breakfast to join with everyone, you see to your right, you could tell these people, they were trying to be sneaky or whatever to try to be as inconspicuous as possible, but it's not just what you're seeing, what you're smelling, just something is not right going down this side road. But here's the thing. Does Uretzi just want to head back to the bed and breakfast with everyone, or do you want to explore this?
I gotta follow the tingle.
Bruno, he trusts you. He's like, I'm not a helicopter person. Unless you want him to go with you, he trusts you know what you're doing. So Uretzi, oh yeah, the tingle is definitely going off here because you're going and you're just following behind. And then as you're getting closer, it's finally dawning on you the scent that you were picking up. It's because you've not really had enough time to register the smell of the adamantite ant species. Because these aren't warriors or assassins. These are just some female adamantite ants. And how well versed is Uretzi in the world? Does Uretzi know what cheerleaders are?
Probably not.
Oh my god, this is even better. So these adamantite females, as I've described, they look like where it would be for flesh with what's exposed would be animal, like insectoid and titan. But the thing is, they're wearing like pleated miniskirts that are in a common color of white and blue. You see they're wearing what looks like a jersey tank top, and on the back it has King's face. You don't know what the front has, though. And you see they have like these weird stringed balls hanging on the side. They're essentially pom-poms. You don't know they're pom-poms, but they're having it. But what they've been doing is they're hauling around like a massive like crate and everything, and you've been following them until finally you go and you see like it's a field, and they're trying to set up cameras in hidden locations. And hold on. Holy shit, he's a goddamn ninja. So, Yoretzi, you're so lost in this moment, you finally feel just a big old hand touch your shoulder and go, "Hey, Yoretzi, how's it going?" And you turn and it's one of the guard, it's Yogi. "Ah, so it looks like you're coming out early. How did you already find out that I'm going to be giving you guys your first dance lessons later today? I mean, I'm really happy to meet a eager student." And you notice Yogi's got a neon headband, shirt with ripped off sleeves, and some neon parachute pants.
Like, I didn't know about that, but there's people putting cameras up everywhere. Is that not good?
So Yogi gives you a cocked eyebrow, but then he's like, "Wait, you are not a person that looks like you would be doing joking like this." And he's just, "I'm going to tell you right now, Yoretzi, if someone is doing that, that is very bad. That means they're trying to cheat and potentially steal our dancer moves. Could you point out these people to me?"
Can she still see them, or?
Yoretzi, roll with advantage for me real quick. Give me a roll with advantage with a d20.
14.
Okay, well, they rolled a 2, which means they are not even hidden. They're just like, they're thinking they're hiding behind a tree, but it's so skinny that they are clearly being seen.
She's gonna point to that or them, and then to just start breaking down cameras.
All right, Yoretzi, if you can get to destroying those cameras for me, I'll take care of these little sneaks right now. And Yogi goes, "Hey, you two, I'm about to show you why I'm called Yogi." And he goes into the ultimate dance move, which is he does a backflip, landing into a handstand in between the two of them, and he immediately just starts twerking. To the point where he's twerking while doing a handstand where he drops on his head, doing a head spin, still twerking. And when he has finished this, what he's called the loop-de-loop in twerk, the two ant cheerleaders are foaming at the mouth. Just twitching and foaming at the mouth. And that is the very move I'm going to teach you guys. Yoretzi, you're still just... Actually, no, I'm not even going to make you roll. You're just left wondering, why did the two cheerleaders explode afterwards? Because their bodies explode into like fireworks.
That is, she's also thinking, oh, absolutely not.
Yeah, I was thinking the really scruffy guy would be able to pull this off. And I'm going to... Oh, dear God, why did I do the Yogi? God damn it. But yeah, the guy with the scruffy mustache, I think he'll be perfect to do this move, Yoretzi. But I will be making sure y'all got the feet of fury. And he teaches Yoretzi how to do the running man. The running man and the cabbage patch. Those are the two dance moves Yoretzi does. Granted, it's not bad. It's actually really fucking good. Even if it's just the running man and cabbage patch, you got moves, Yoretzi. But yeah, it's nice, simple, nothing, too much. Just nice, simple that. But Yoretzi, you prevented one step of the Mothman's dirty tricks. I commend you on that. Now, after you learn these two dance moves, it doesn't take you long to get it. You're a quick learn. We'll say you got up from the grounds around 6 in the morning. This all happened around 7. Now it's about only 9 o'clock when everyone else was waking up at the bed and breakfast. Would you like to still stay out here with the field with Yogi, or would you proceed back to the bed and breakfast?
I mean, if everyone's out and about, she'd probably join them.
All right, then.
Unless they're joining those.
Because, you know what? I would like to let you all have the time naturally and not let it feel forced that they just had to come here. I'll let you go back and have the morning. So with that, as Sticky Joe and Maury descend the stair as with everyone down there, and then Scruffy, of course, joining in, I'm going to open the floor for a final group role play event before we finish up the session for today. So, and you guys have the floor, and I will mute myself real quick.
Maury is still lost in thought about everything that has been happening and his recent nightmare. So he's just sitting there drinking his way too strong coffee, just kind of observing.
It's all right. You guys can go ahead and say it. if nobody else is going to say it, I guess I'll do it. Mr. Finley and I have done an amazing job cleaning this bed and breakfast.
Joe, notice it's beautiful.
You are actively leaving a trail of stickiness I'm not super fond of.
Joe can't change who he is.
That's okay. I accept you for who you are.
He gives you a very manly nod. And to make my my new dark god overlord Mori happy, I present an offering of a. I can't tell if this was a genetic anomaly or just something that was dipped in the mutated sludge. It's a 3-headed bat. One of the heads are albino.
Is it
Well,
live?
if that
Yes.
is just precious, just make sure it doesn't drip.
So there is one last thing I'm going to set up. As everyone comes down, there's just a trio of footsteps that sounds like 10-year-old boys. As 3 boys, well, you guys remember your Thunderbird chicks? They come
Yes.
running down, and they are at this point before because Clem was actually 1 trillion years old. When a Thunderbird reaches that age, that's when they reach the stage of when they look like a literal giant Pokemon. I can't remember what the bird that had the rainbow plumage, because that's what the Thunderbird's supposed to look like. But when they are, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yes. The ho-ho. There we go. Ho-ho. But when Thunderbirds before them, they actually will have a smaller anthropomorphized form, just like female turtles. And when the 3 chicks come running down, one is wearing a backwards red cap and a red shirt. The other one falling behind him has kind of like a little messy hair, a little fatter, and he's wearing a green shirt. And the last one is wearing a blue shirt, and he's got honestly, he just looks kind of like he just has like longish like hair plumage. And they run down, and you see that each one, you hear them go, Huey, what Dewey? Louie's not helping. And then the 3 of them look over at you 3. Yeah, those are your guys' 3 Thunderbird chicks. Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Which one's mine?
Hey, Mom. Hi, Dad. Huey, the one wearing red, is yours, Scruffy. Louie is yours, Maury. And Dewey is yours, Uretzi. We're going to go out and totally not play pranks. Is that okay, guys? Mom and Dad? And Dewey looks at you. Mom?
Absolutely not.
Maybe a little bit.
Dewey looks so sad. Dewey's giving you the puppy dog eyes.
Oh, she hates those. It works.
I feel as their unofficial sticky uncle, I need to do something like teach them how to count cards if they don't already know how to.
Before I let you guys go back to the group roleplay, I just want to do this real quick. Hold on. Sticky Joe, how much money do you have on you?
Let's see. I will say $327.
Yeah, now you have 2. Because Huey already knows how to count cards, and he's an expert at 3-card Monty, and he's just like, bye. It's like, thanks for the spending money, Dad.
Those little shits. I'm proud of them.
And I just wanted to throw that in for you guys, that the chicks had actually reached their next stage in evolution, and that their names is Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and they are extremely intelligent, but they are very mischievous. But yes, they are now part of the party. I just wanted to give that update real quick before letting you guys have the floor again.
Maury embedded a tracker on his when he first got it.
Oh, and just so you know, Maury, Louie is the smartest of them all, and I'm already going to tell you right now that if you let Louie do it in the future, let's just say your fortune is going to increase if you let Louie take control of certain aspects in the technology field.
He's kind of apathetic on what he does, so he's probably going to let him.
Oh, yeah. Because here's the big things is that each one of the children genetically has taken from you guys. So Louie actually has a lot of aspects of you, Maury. Same thing with Uretzi for Dewey and Huey with Sticky Joe. No, Huey is not sticky. Huey is actually an expert at survival. He is, next to Sticky Joe, he's probably one of the greatest rangers besides Moonlight and Sticky Joe. Dewey his animal expertise and tracking is second to none. His knowledge of animals is honestly Dewey is just gifted. He's like a Disney fucking princess. He can walk outside and just start singing off key, and he's going to be surrounded by animals.
Oh, come on, don't say that, man. I don't want to die.
But no, but so each one of these children, that's the thing about, because you know the chimera ants from Hunter x Hunter?
Yep.
Imagine that, but instead of them doing that through eating, it's through osmosis. Because as I've said, the Thunderbirds, their true species name is the atmosphere avians. So from their osmosis, they have actually essentially become your genetic children.
Damn it, I spilt my coffee.
But just wanted to give that quick update real quick. Oh, and Scruffy, later on, you actually have a band gig for the next session. So I'm going to be having you doing some roles for that, Scruffy.
I'm happy you
Nice.
mentioned that because I wanted to see if Scruffy wanted to jam with Joe for a little bit because I
Actually,
have my sitar.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and and everyone, before I give the floor over, I want to just give this final update. Everyone's prototypes have fully woken up, and I can finally fully explain what's going on with them. Because Yuretsi, as I explained, the gauntlets that usually would become those giant claws. Now, what has happened is they become more just like strength banglets, and you can activate them to get a burst of like really high strength. The maximum you can lift when you activate them is 1 ton. But if you use them more than 2 times in a session, you will start to actively lose from your might pool because of the damage it does to your body. Like, because your muscles are going to start rupturing, bones breaking, because of it's essentially the fucking armor from Berserk. It gives you these blessings, but at the same time, it's detrimental to your body with overuse. Mori, your whip has essentially what the snake whip has become now in its new form. It's more in the lines of like a rapier and a whip. And yes, you can have it travel independently, but it can only go about maybe 10 meters away from you, to where then it'll just fall flat and inanimate. And if you control it longer than, so essentially, like if you're in combat, if you do more than 3 actions independently with it, you're going to start losing from your intellect pool. Like Mori's going to start bleeding from the nose, the ears, the eyes, and it's going to cause severe mental trauma staying connected to it for too long, because then you're mentally being connected to the PBSO, and that you're being connected to an 11th dimension being, even if it's dead, that's still too much for your mind. Joe, this one I had the most fun with, but at the same time, oh boy, your guitar has changed for now to a harmonica. The thing is, it's not that you're just playing music or like a typical bard. It's the pitches and vibrations that you can cause like trauma to people's bodies and such, or you can even like break open locks or doors. The only thing is, yes, you actually can cause that if you wanted to do that. But the only thing is, Joe, the more you play this, the more it messes with your circulature system, meaning you're going to lose from your speed pool, to the point to where your lungs and everything will explode.
Oh, so just
These
another
prototypes,
Tuesday night of drinking.
These prototypes, yes, they provide cool things, but they are extremely dangerous to you. So yes, you can do some cool things, but at the same time, you got to be smart with it, or you could start causing damage to yourself. Because now then we get to you, Scruffy, to where now I can fully explain more of yours. Your prototype, yours affects your intellect, to where, let's say, because now you can forcibly make it do what you want to do. It has 3 forms. It has the gun form, which can forcibly change, like make people do mind swaps. The second form is that weird jester. The only thing you know is that he likes to tell you, we're going to spin the slots, and it's up, and whatever number you get is what I'll give you. And then you know the third and final one, that is the bashful one. That one allows you to essentially become an electromagnet. That is the most detrimental one to you, Scruffy. If you have her out, and her name is Try, if you have Try out, and you use her for more than 3 actions, you start to severely lose from your intellect pool. The other 2, it's when you use them for more than 5 actions. And that's why these are prototypes, is because, and they give it to you, and sadly this is why they give it to you guys, because they know they have these detriments, but it also allows them to see what they do. Going forward in the future, the more in tune you become with your prototypes, you will maybe gain the ability to sever that link with Anodyne and cut off the information that goes to them. All right, but last little piece of information I wanted to give you guys. I'm going to mute myself so you can have the floor again for a group role play.
Quick question. So if we're just like, for like Scruff and me, ours is instruments. If we're just playing them to play them and not to like activate an ability, is that still going to mess with us?
Nope, you are not actively using the actual ability. You're just using it as an instrument. It's not a detriment to you. It's when you're actively activating the abilities of the prototype is when it could become a problem. So no, dude, if you're just playing your harmonica, you're good to go.
Okay. And even though I went from a guitar to harmonica, Joe still loves Girdle Squitch.
So
I think that's what I named it.
So I was letting you see the final form of your prototype. The final form of your prototype is the guitar, but you gotta get to that evolution. I essentially did like how every video game lets you see your perfect character's abilities, and then something happens and it takes it all away, like a la Castlevania Symphony of the Night. When you start with Alucard, you're OP as hell, and then the Grim Reaper comes, takes everything away, and you're weak. I let you have a taste of the full abilities of your prototype. Now you have to slowly get the process of getting them to that full power and evolution.
So, Joe's gonna. Did Maury accept Joe's three-headed bat gift?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I hope this pleases my dark lord. He's gonna get on his hands and knees and bow before you. As he's gonna prostrate himself as much as he can to you.
Maury's just gonna give him a weird look and accept the bat.
Be grateful.
So,
Nobody ever gets Scruffy a
canonically,
bat.
oh my god!
I
Never
got
mind.
you
I'm
a
gonna let
bat,
you keep going.
but your bat is a wooden baseball bat with some nails hammered through it and a little broom on the other end.
Scruffy will use it at every ride he goes to.
Hey, so B, I'm gonna, if I'll remember, I'll put it down on your sheet as well. But so, Sticky Joe, you said that it was a baseball bat with a broom and nails in it.
Yes, and a broom on the other side.
I'm gonna say it does medium damage. It'll do 4 damage.
Scruffy will use it for both the riot and the cleanup after the riot.
Glorious. Scruffy, you want to get down with some jams?
Scruffy's always down.
Out of nowhere, we got sunglasses on, and I'm going to start playing on my harmonica.
Roll me a d20 real quick, Sticky Joe.
I'm so stuffy, and it is really hard to do the Sticky Joe voice tonight.
No, you are all good, man.
Okay, 13.
Okay, so you beat the 12. So I'm going to say this goes full on Blues Brothers. You guys go into that full Need Somebody song. It's John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd would be very proud of you too. You guys pull it off magnificently. And as this is going on, as I said, the field is being prepared for your training. The last thing that will happen for this session is just as you guys finish this really good performance, because the Jughead band, they come out and they're backing you guys up, playing as your background band. Yogi shows up and goes, well, whoa, my eyes deceive me. It looks like I think we already got part of the performance on. Well, I guess I think this can be where we start. And that, dear listeners, is where we're going to go ahead and call it an end for this session and the morning of the first half of the second day. And when we come back for the next session, we will be going into the afternoon portion of the second day. And after, we have 3 more sessions before the boxing match and then the final confrontation. With the way things are shaping up, with the way things have been played by everyone, with the roles, I am, as a GM, dear listeners, the role rule always goes, the GM is, it must always be remembered, the GM is not against the players. We actively root for you guys. It's just the way the story rolls is how it plays. But hell yeah, like, you better believe I'm rooting for them because Jesus Christ, man, they have done a great job. And oh God, this is the portion I always suck at. But please, guys, just remember if you've been enjoying the Happiest Place on Earth or any of the other content here available on Infinite Nerd Theorem, please leave us a like and comment and leave a comment down below, especially because I don't know why, but it just lets us be seen more in the algorithm and it just helps a lot with things. And please take a look down in the comments. I'm not in the comment, in the actual description, because that will have links to all the podcasting platforms. Because if either you prefer video or podcasting platforms, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube for video, or Spotify for video. I'm gonna figure out how to get that done correctly, and
Or
of course,
Patreon.
and actually, thank you so much, Sticky Joe or Silas, at this moment. Thank you so much, because yes, we do also have a Patreon, and please give us the support there, because if we can get to the point where we make this our just daytime job for this, nothing would be even better, because being able to do this full time for you guys, that's the dream. But thank you all so very, very, very much for continuing to come with us and what has become our longest running series to date. I love this series very much, and we are actually getting close finally to the real season finale. And everyone, have an amazing rest of your day. And remember, we love you guys, and here at Infinite Nerd Theorem, someday we might ourselves create the next Othello. But you know what? Until then, we're going to get a lot of smut first. This has been all of us from here at Infinite Nerd Theorem. Thank you so much, and goodbye. Let me go to
I spilled my coffee, so the fan should buy a cup of Joe for Joe.
Oh, I will make sure to do that for in the future. Thank you so much.